Yo guys, what's up? Welcome to Steve-O's World. Oh my goodness. Thanks for coming by the old base camp. It's 110 heat index, and so I'm in the barn. I got two fans blowing on me here. Yeah, and it's still, I would imagine it's at least 95 in here, but put a sweatband on so you don't have to put windshield wipers on your glasses, okay? I've been fooling around in here creating some string frames. See, S for string. I've had some slime outs. Thank you very much, Hive Beetles. Yeah, you get the weak colonies and they get invaded and they get their ass kicked. I'm sure you get it. You know what's going on. The stronger colonies, the strong will survive. Not only in the insect world, the human world. So if you're not strong, like Steve-O, you're going to get your ass in a crack, okay? And I don't want your ass in a crack. So adopt a proper human diet, exercise daily, nothing major. Go to the gym or get on a trail in the woods. I'd be in the woods, except the deer flies and the sand gnats will rip the flesh off your body. Yes, I can cover up with all kind of toxic crap and get through it, but why? Right? Go to the gym. If you've got a good insurance company, they pay for it because they're finally figuring out. God bless them. They're finally figuring out healthy humans are cheaper to take care of than sickly ones. Imagine that, guys. Imagine that. The only way you're going to accomplish optimum health is with nutrition. Food is medicine. And grains, no, it's not medicine. Vegan diet, no, that's a joke. That's a joke. Actually, I am on a vegan diet. I really am. I'm strictly vegan now. I've switched. Because what I do, it's in a roundabout way. Let's face it. I eat the ruminant animals that eat the veggies, okay? They eat the veggies. I slaughter the herbivores, and then I eat them. So that's how it's done. Okay? So if you're having problems with sugar addiction, and you will when you convert over to the Steve-O carnivore plan, you're going to have cravings, because sugar is like any drug. It is a drug, as far as I'm concerned. It is a drug, a very addictive drug. So get off of it. But the cravings will go away in a couple of weeks. You just got to bear through it, you know. You just got to bear through it. Have a glass of water, whatever. Get through it. Don't drink anything with sugar in it. All these artificial sweeteners, they try to trick you into doing it, like this Diet Coke, Zero Coke, all this zero nonsense. These fruit juices, they're pure poison, pure poison. Drink some green tea, drink filtered water. That's all you need. You don't need nothing in it, no. Once you're fat adapted, like Steve-O, all those cravings go away. Now, I can sit and watch somebody eat an ice cream cone and go, oh God, I wish I had that. And then I go, I have to slap myself. No, you don't, fool. That stuff is poison. It's absolutely poison. Sugar is poison in the human body, okay? That's all you need to know. We're not honeybees, okay? I know you guys are tired of me harping on this, but I can't have you as beekeepers if you're sick. Because I'm telling you right now, in this 110 heat index I've got right now out here, you won't make it. You won't make it. You're gonna crash. You're gonna crash and burn, baby, burn. So, that's enough of that. I know your blood pressure is increasing just listening to me. So we have to move on. So here's what we're moving on to. I had some hives crash. If you've been a beekeeper very long, you're going to have hives crash. It's just part of the life cycle. It happens, okay? Say a hive swarms. They've left cells back to make a new queen. The new queen emerges. She runs around and kills all of her sisters. How many ever there are. Could be 2, could be a dozen. She's going to kill all of them. If 2 hatch at the same time and they go into battle, whoever wins, wins. Now, if they both get crippled in the fight, that colony is going to crash because she cannot get out on her mating flight. All right? Okay, say that the new girl's badass in the whole hive. She goes around and kills everybody. Kills every one of her sisters. She goes on a mating flight and she slams into a car windshield. She's done. She gets eaten by a dragonfly. She's done. She gets eaten by a bluebird. She's done. So then, you know, and it don't take long for these critters to come in, hive beetles and whatnot, and crash a colony. So anyway, I've had some frames. I've had quite a few frames, and I've dummied up and sometimes set them out and let the bees clean them out, and wasn't mindful of where I'm putting them, and the sun comes in and warps them. Once you warp plasticell, it's time for the dumpster. Look at this. I'm making some string frames, but here's something you probably never, this is a movie you've probably never seen before. A lot of guys use monofilament, and I've used monofilament for years. It works pretty good, and it's stretchy. What you're seeing here is this product. Spider wire. This happens, and I've looked for the strongest, I was looking for 80-pound test. The biggest they had at Walmart was 50-pound test. Look how thin this stuff is, guys. It's like a hair. This is badass stuff. I've caught some big fish with this stuff, guys. Big fish. Yeah, I like the heavier stuff. I think I even have some 80-pound on one of my rigs. And the material is, I think it's, Dyneema. It is some strong stuff, and it casts. When I'm out there surf fishing with that big long rod, I put 4 ounces on there, and I'll put off 3 standoffs. Man, I can sing that thing way out there, way out in the surf with this stuff, because this line is so small, it just peels off 10 times faster in mono. Yeah, but I've never tried this product. The thing with mono is the bees will chew it. They get bored, whatever. Sometimes they'll lock up. I've used 2 up here and then put none down here, but then I finally decided put them all the way down, because sometimes they'll stop here with their comb, and then you got this gap down here. Now if you've got a fast and furious flow coming on, they'll usually bring it all the way down and tie it into this bottom bar. So I said, you know, just put them all in, put 4 of them in, and so they don't have any excuse to not come down, pick up this other line. Now I've never seen them pick up on this material before. They may not like it. I think this is my 5th one I've made this morning here. I got a crock pot over here. I've got a crock pot over there going with melted wax. I put in some jute string here. I put in some jute string here along this bottom here. And what I did for that was I drilled in with an 1/8 bit, and then I took a dental floss threader for bridge work, for feeding your dental floss under bridge work. It's just a piece of monofilament loop. You've seen them. You can get them over there with the toothpaste and other stuff. That's what I used to pull through. What I've used to pull through this stuff here. You can get this at your craft store. It's just what they call jute. I think it's actually hemp rope, hemp string. But with that threader, let me show you that. You could easily make one of these. It's just a loop. It looks like it's like monofilament. And all I did to get it through the ends, I got my bit set up over here, drill motor with an 1/8 inch bit. And all you do to get it through, and I just dropped it. Is just drop it through the loop. And now you basically have a thread here that you can pass through. I haven't drilled this frame yet. And now you can just pass this through that end bar. So yeah, all I did to drill it was just this one's had a string in it before. All I do is stick the drill right here at the base. For whatever reason, this frame was not drilled yet. You just drill you've drilled four random holes down through here. You put one down here close to the top bar, then you come up here and you put one here, one here, one here, one here. Very simple. No rocket science here, guys. The other thing I'm doing here also is I'm putting a staple. I've got ordered eyelets that go in here. I ordered 700 of them. You get them on Amazon, they're cheap. They're like $6 and change. Yeah, $6 and change for the eyelets. They're copper. They go in these holes here. All right. I've got some pre-drilled factory frames, and they will be poked in. I've got a little driver tool also. It's a small punch, it's narrowed down. You set it, put the nipple on the tool, you stick it in, flap into the hole. So our first run in my hemp line through, poke it out, and it comes out this side. I leave extra over there, and I hit it really close with a staple right there. Then I run it up, and I hit it with another staple right there. Now that's locked in. Now I come and pull it over here, the extra line down, hold it tight, I hit it up here, pull it over, hit it, and I trim it off with my knife. I do that first to get it out of the way. Now here's a little jig I just built, just scrap plywood, scrap junk here. this is a bunch of scrap stuff here. What I did is took apart a Harbor Freight clamp, and all you do to take that apart, you see that nipple, that punched out nipple right there? Well, that's what keeps this clamp from sliding off the end. I just ground it down on one, and off comes the tool, and there's a little Mickey Mouse spring in here. You take it out, and these two little bars, spring-loaded bars, fall out. See these spring-loaded bars? It's a pair of them. They fall out. Now what I did is drill 3 holes all the way through, and I mounted this whole thing on a block of wood here, see? On a block of wood, 3 blocks actually. And I needed a stop here. I needed a stop down here on this frame. So I also needed a station here where I can shove it up against tight, this frame up tight, so it falls in the same point each time. Now I've got a dead man here, and I've got this clamp run all the way out. And the reason I had to put it up on blocks is so I can get my bear paw in there, see, like this. My meat hooks. These are my meat hooks. Yeah, you got to get these meat hooks in here. So I put a little piece of wood here to bring it up. Now my clamp's about in the center here of this end bar. So I've got this anchored on 3 points. Now let's torque this baby down. Turn this, see? Let's start torquing this baby. I want you to see this. I want you to see this as I'm torquing. Look at the bow I'm creating in that piece of wood right there. Look at the bow I'm putting in that puppy. Look at the bow in that thing. I'm torquing this down. Now, obviously, boys and girls, you can break the end bars if you get too nuts, okay? But see how much I bowed that? That's plenty. That's all you need. You've bowed that thing in considerably. Probably more than a ½ an inch. You probably got a ¼ inch each side out of center there on that thing. So, what I'm gonna do here, if you'll notice, I got a little extra bit of board here. Right here, landing. I've ordered some stainless steel wire, because I have no clue how this is gonna work. And I know wire, I have run wire for years on these too. I call them string frames, because you can run mono, you can run this and that. But this stuff here, this spider wire is totally experimental. But I like to experiment. And yeah. So what you do is you run out. Once I have the eyelets in too, I won't need to fool around with the paper, with the staples. I put a staple when I pushed it through here. On this end here, I'll have the reel setting up over here. So I can pass the wire reel through, out, and actually I can feed through all of these holes in this jig. Nothing's in my way here, as you can see. I can pop that wire out, I can come over here, back down. Once I have the eyelets in, you don't have to worry about the wire tearing into the wood. I have done this without putting in any kind of sleeves or staples. The staple thing I just came up with today, because you can see right there, that spider wire is some tough stuff. It will actually cut into that wood. And be careful if you're using this spider wire, it'll cut right into your hands. It's badass stuff, I'm telling you. But you can see what I did. I put a staple here. I came over that staple and punched it through, went down to the other end and came around. You can see there what I did. You can also see here what I did with the hemp string. I came through the hole, I stapled it, I came over there and stapled again. Now that's locked, it ain't coming out of there. And then once you slop on your wax, you slop it on, the bees will pick right up on that. That waxed hemp string there, they'll pick right up on it and haul boogie butt right on down and make you some of the prettiest comb you ever seen. But you've got to put these in between drawn out combs, fully drawn out combs. Don't be just throwing a bunch of these in. You'll have a wobbled, warbled out mess. It won't work. You have got to put this in between filled out combs. But where I'm going to introduce these, things on the new moon coming up, I'm going to make up some more splits. And as I'm going to take these, I'm going to have quite a few of them, because this material's coming in. I'm going to get, like I said, the copper sleeves that go in the end bars. I'm going to get the tool to install the sleeves, and I'm going to get the wire. And what I'll do on the wire, I'm just running a few of these spider wires just for giggles, and I will mark the top bars like I have here with S, so we know where our spiders are at. When we go in a colony, we can quickly look. Oh, there's our spiders. Let's check to see how they're doing, and I'll give you you know, updates on them. But what I'll do here, the spool will sit here, probably fairly close here, and I'm going to have a piece of wood, a small piece of wood, probably about like this, a small piece cut. I'll have the wire reel horizontal like this. It's a small spool. It'll sit like this with an arbor running through the center, but I'm going to have a little tensioner here on top of that wire, because that wire will go crazy. It'll unwind on you. You have to keep tension on the wire. And I'm going to back it up as far as I can. I've already pre-cut this table. It's locked, it's gold. I could add a piece if I needed to, yeah, whatever. I'll figure that out. But yeah, you can see how simple this rig is. It's so simple. It's so simple, it's stupid, guys. And what I got here is I went to Lowe's and picked me up. I have had this in stock forever. This little hammer goes back to the 70s, believe it or not. It's a little upholstery hammer. It's got a magnet on it, okay? I've had this hammer since the 70s, and for whatever reason, I can't seem to lose it. But anyway, I take these. These are 18 gauge, 3/4, and what I'll do is put one here, and one down here. That's all you need. So you run your wire through all the way down. You pop, you're ending up here. You come out of the hole. You wrap it around and around 3 or 4 times. You sink it in with your hammer. Then you get over here and you tighten this thing up. You tighten this thing up by hand. You pull out enough leg and pull it by hand and wrap it around that, and then slap it in. And once you've done that, all you got to do is let the pressure off with this clamp right here. Bada bing. You saw the movement on that. But you want to get this pretty tight in here, so you got maximum amount of travel here on this. That's it. That's the only thing I can come up with for you today, I believe. I hope all is well in your world. It's too hot to work. Oh my goodness. Look what I see, guys. Look what I see. It's turned yellow. First one of the year harvest. Are you kidding me, guys? And I got to get these out of here fast as soon as they start to turn, because my white-tailed deer will come in here and have this for lunch. Look at this. There it is. Not a bad little fruit right there. And just turn them and twist them like so. like that. I will take this in and let it sit for 3 or 4 days and let this whole fruit turn yellow. And it'll start getting a little bit soft. But there's a nice little crown right there. That's gonna be another one. So you never run out. It just snowballs. These things are like honeybees. You start with one hive, you make that grow, you split that one, you split that one, like we're gonna do with this one. I'm gonna cut this top off. What you do is I take a big serrated bread knife and I cut it right here. I first cut it here, right there. My second cut is here. My third cut is here. And then all I do is start cutting 3/4 inch all the way down, right? Then I lay them flat on the cutting board and I take that circle and I just start trimming off the excess skin till I get to the core. Then I cut the core out. I just cut around the core and I take all those chunk pieces, put in a Ziploc freezer bag, and I freeze them and give them away as gifts. Now, I understand I don't eat much fruit anymore. But I understand this has got anti-inflammatory properties. All I can tell you is loaded with sugar, and I don't need the sugar. What happens with sugar is your blood sugar goes up. There goes your blood pressure along with it. There comes more problems, higher inflammation, yada yada. Once you cut this off, start peeling these bottom leaves off. Just rip them this way see how these leaves go this way? Rip them down and keep pulling them down. Keep going around and around until you get a nub about that long. Let that sit in the utility room, in the AC unit, in the AC room, wherever, for a couple, 3 days. It will form a callus. It'll start drying up. You think you killed it. It'll start forming a callus. If you put this in the ground, insects and stuff will come because it's sweet, and they'll eat this thing up, and it'll kill it. They'll kill it. But you let that callus over, then you go out and you stick it in the dirt. Dig a little pocket in some rich dirt, if you got it. These things take off good in rich dirt. They'll also take off in pure sand too. It's ridiculous. And that's all that was along that fence line. They were coming in, but that's been about 8 years these things have been on the ground. The ones in the back under the oak trees, these things love acid. They're acid loving for some reason. Those rotting oak leaves, they thrive on it. And I get some nice pineapples back there. That thing's been going. I've had these in the ground since '99. When I first hit this place in '99, I started planting pineapples. And I'm starting to get a very good harvest annually, every year now. And now, after all these years of eating all this sweet stuff, and my health was failing, I said, no, let's give away gifts. Now I'm giving away gifts that are probably it's not a good gift. I don't know, but people love them. And so what can I say? Well, this tea is good. Ice cold. This tumbler thing here, yeah, it keeps that stuff cold all friggin' day. I don't know. There's some kind of great insulation in that thing. That's unbelievable. It's just green tea, and I top it out with club soda, so it's a bubbly drink. I don't need the sugar. None, zero. I'm over it. I'm fat adapted. I'm a meathead now, I guess. All right, guys, that's a little bit on bees, a little bit on pineapples, a little bit on green tea, a little bit on healthy lifestyle. And I'm gonna see you very soon on the next one. Be happy, be strong. We gotta keep getting it on. And I'm gonna get these ready on the new moon. new moon in July, which is, I think, I don't know when it is, mid-month, somewhere in there. We'll go back in, we'll evaluate all those Matthew queens. I've been pouring the food to them. They seem to be doing good, eating. I haven't looked at them. We'll start evaluating some of these bees, see what they're doing. Am I just pissing away money buying $30 queens? I'll tell you what, all my walk-away hives are excellent. Excellent, absolutely excellent. Because I'm taking eggs from a very good queen, very good hive. If I just start robbing from every Tom, Dick, and Harry, you know, not so much. But if you just start making up as you're going through and evaluating your hives, and you run into a hive that's kind of chilling, you don't want them eating you a lot, and she's got a beautiful brood pattern, don't rob her to death. Rob 1 or 2 frames, go down the line. You can mix these bees up, grab this frame from this hive, frame from that hive, whatever, put them in, and just make sure, you might want to mark the very good frame that came out of your very best stock. They're probably going to make the queens from that frame, because you're going to put in some eggs in there, and you want just about solid sealed brood with just a few eggs, and those eggs, they're going to turn into a nice queen for you. Put a date on the top, and do not look in that box for 30 days. 30 days is the magic number. And if it's real stormy weather, which we're going to be having some stormy weather coming, hurricane weather coming very soon, she could be delayed on mating flight. So don't get your panties in a wad if you go back in, say the bees are chilling. If you don't see any eggs, you don't see a queen. She may be a sneaky one. She may be sneaking around and hiding. She may be a wall hanger. You may not see her because she was hanging on a wall. Put that hive back together carefully and walk away for another 5 days. Then come back. If she's not got eggs in there, you're going to look it over very good and find out why. And if she doesn't, restart it with another frame of eggs. Yes, sir. So that's the game plan, and very simple jig here. You can rig up wire frames, string frames. I don't suggest mono because the bees will chew them up. I see a lot of guys using mono. The bees will chew them up, and so now you've got a floppy mess in there. I'm very curious to see how the spider wire goes. I know the wire works. I've got wire coming. We'll do up a bunch of these in wire, and we'll start inserting these as we rob out to make our new walkaway splits. I'll be dropping these string frames in between nice straight comb. Don't put them in there with any comb that's not filled out. You are going to have a mess. Make sure they're straight up and down combs, and then slide in a wire frame or string frame, whatever you want to call it, in there, and they will blow that thing out just as pretty as it can be. But you need to probably feed them. Of course, I've been feeding right along, and Joe's sugar has gone up now to it's gone up 3 more cents a pound. I'm paying 3 more cents a pound now. It's just non-stop. The gasoline keeps going up. I don't know how anybody thinks that this economy is wonderful. How the White House can think this economy is wonderful. It's going to hell in a handbasket. These people haven't got a clue. They don't seem to have a clue. But it is what it is. We just got to work with it. And I will see you soon. Do things like Steve-O's doing to save money. These string frames will save you some money, and you can insert them babies right in there and make it, you know, if you've got some warped out plasticell, don't be throwing those wooden frames in the trash can. Utilize it, make yourself a very cheapo Steve-O rig just like this. You're gonna love it. See you soon. Bye-bye.